Yo, yo, yo. What's up, everybody? Hope everybody's having a good Friday. Popping in for a quick little live stream here, answer some questions, hang out with you guys. Lots of early Black Friday sales ripping. So if you haven't already been doing some sourcing today, it's a great day to do so. This is the time of year where the that extra hour spent working on the weekends, that kind of stuff, is way more valuable. And yeah, lots of exciting stuff to come. So let me know what questions you guys got about selling on Amazon. Been stocking up a whole bunch of stuff that we should sell during the holiday season. And yeah, let me know what questions you guys got. I'm also throwing up on TikTok today too. So let me know if you guys have any questions over there. And yeah, and then sweet. If you guys are watching on the replay and need a good little starting point in terms of where to get going on Amazon, start with like the free course on the YouTube channel, Fields of Profit, of course. And then yeah, we've also got a free class going down on Wednesday night. What's up, Turk? Good to see you, man. So yeah, let me know what questions you guys got. We'll hang out here for 20 or 30 minutes or so. And then I'll probably hit the driving range after that. Decided popping a little live stream, hanging out with you guys a little more productive for a second here. Sweet. What's up, Sean? Restricted versus gated. Basically, that's the same thing. Some brands might be like hard gated. That might be what you're thinking of? Where like no one can get them ungated. But as long as it says apply to sell when you go to like try to sell the product, you're able to get those products sold. Just get an invoice from like a Target or a Walmart or one of those and submit that. But yeah, it's basically the same thing, Sean. Sweet, yeah. Let me know what other questions you guys got. See a bunch of guys tuning in over on TikTok. So if you guys are thinking about starting a side hustle, selling on Amazon, all that kind of stuff, here to help. And I'm also live on YouTube as well. Is it too late to ship stuff into FBA for seasonal? It's getting close, Rafaela. It's definitely a little tight since by the time you ship a product into Amazon's warehouse, it'll probably take a month or so for it to reliably be checked in, especially this time of year. So it's really down to crunch time. For seasonal stuff, I probably wouldn't FBA anymore. If it's like a shoe or a toy item, chocolates, that kind of thing, something that'll sell really well every time of year, it'll just sell a little bit better during Christmas. You could still FBA some of that. Sweet. And yeah, I see a bunch of you guys tuning in on TikTok. So let me know here if you guys have any questions about selling on Amazon. Been selling Amazon for about 5 or 6 years now. Sold over $5 million on the platform. Should do close to $3 million this year. And yeah, let me know what questions you guys got. So getting denied for DeWalt, even though you have an invoice from a distributor, that can be just that's kind of just part of it, unfortunately. It's kind of one of those things. You'll be grateful that it's a little bit hard to get things taken care of after you got it done, because it makes it so that the seller who comes in and they don't know how to get anything cheap and they're going to go in, they're going to tank everybody's price, that kind of thing. Like those sellers are just not going to end up being too successful on the platform. But if you're serious about it, you're able to submit it multiple times, that kind of thing. For me, it takes 5 or 6 submissions to Amazon on average to get those ungates taken care of. So just keep submitting. Sounds like you probably got it done correctly there. Amazon lost some of your shipment, no resolution. Yeah, so Bart, you'll go in on the shipment view on that. So like if you're using Boxer, one of those, it'll show you like which shipments have lost any inventory. And then you can just kind of specifically go in on Seller Central and upload your invoices for what you bought and shipped, basically. Sometimes it's kind of nice because when they do refund you, if you can say, hey, here's our invoices, here's our tracking proof, you're basically sold it all in bulk, more or less, which is it's kind of nice sometimes. What are you looking at with Black Friday coming up? Yeah, so Black Friday sales, honestly, a lot of Black Friday sales are already going right now. So if you guys don't know how to find those profitable products, got plenty of YouTube videos you can dive into. Uploaded one today that'll help you figure out how to do your actual product sourcing. But I'm looking at anything that people give as gifts during the holidays, basically. I personally don't like selling, Christmas lights and Santa costumes and that kind of stuff, but I will definitely sell a ton of toys and shoes and clothes, like stuff that people gift year round. There's lots of good sales on it on big websites. I can just kind of dive into the big websites and find stuff that sells really well. And there'll be a lot of good sales. There's already good sales going right now, like early Black Friday sales. Yeah, Bert, you just upload those invoices, man. That's kind of how it works. Yeah, it's natural. They're gonna receive a lot of inventory for you, so not everything is gonna go Perfect, right? Sweet. I think I just invited one of you guys to the live on accident. I don't know. I'm a boomer over here on TikTok. You just bought cheese that needs refrigeration. Is on ice. Yeah, you wouldn't want to send those to Amazon FBA. You'd want to only do those via FBM if it's like a refrigerated product. Yeah. Those can be a little bit risky. Would invoice from a store like Walmart work, or does it need to be from a distributor? Yeah, you can use Walmart. I've used Walmart a lot. I've used Target, Kohl's, iHerb, Vitacost, Walgreens, anything. Any of the big major retailers will work for ungating for sure. Yeah. And then those of you guys over on TikTok, if you need to see all this stuff in more detail, you can go to the Fields of Profit YouTube channel. I've got like a long free course, a ton of information that a lot of people charge for, that kind of thing. So I can hook you guys up if you head over to the YouTube channel there. Best way to secure capital. Yeah, Yuri, just build it up in the early days. Especially just because whenever you take a loan or a line of credit, something like that, it's going to amplify whatever you're already doing, right? So if you don't know what you're doing, it's going to amplify how little you know what you're doing, right? So then that's obviously not good. If you don't really know your numbers and you're not diving in too deeply, you don't know exactly what your business is making month to month, and you're making less than you think, it's going to amplify that. But if you go in and you know your numbers, you're buying a lot of good, consistent products that are working for you, then yeah, you can, like Amazon will offer you loans through Seller Central. Or I think Amazon stopped, but there's still companies that do it through Seller Central. I've used those before. Yeah, you can also use like a 0% interest credit card, but that's only if you really know what you're doing. So if you're like less than a year in, I would not, yeah, I would not mess with that. How much product do you buy out of test run? Like 10 units usually, Edgar. Yeah. Anywhere from like 10 to 20. For me personally, I tend to skip most of my test buys these days. Just because I already know like how much I'm gonna, I can see how much it's gonna sell basically. You look at the SellerAmp, you look at the Keep Offers tab, you can get a really good idea how fast it's gonna sell. But when you're kind of learning the ropes, then do like 10 to 20. Send it FBM whenever possible as well. Yeah, so you can test the concept and then you can restock via FBA. Yep. Sweet. Yeah, Ace, just let me know what questions you guys, what questions you got. Happy to help. What percent of the revenue is profit? For me, I shoot for about 10 to 15%. For a seller who's got like a ton of stuff, they're doing a bunch of the work themselves. They're going to be closer to like 20 to 25%, but I have it set up where I ship off to prep centers. They do a lot of the like the actual item prep, kind of shipping it off for me. And then I also have a team that finds the products for me. So obviously I have to pay all of them. So I'm happy with shooting for 10% or so on, it takes me about 30 minutes a day. Obviously it takes a lot of work in the early days to get that all set up. So don't think that you can just hop in and do that right away. It takes a lot of, manual work yourself, but you can absolutely get that taken care of. Let's see. Why would you get a perishable product? Perishables can be good. Yeah. Yeah. As long as they are not like a meltable or they're going to expire super quick. I sell a lot of like groceries and vitamins and that kind of stuff though. I am not Grant. Crazy prep centers high in fees. So prep center will cost you like $1 to $1.50 a unit. And a lot of you guys you're already paying, 5 to 10% in sales tax. So on a lot of items, you can save money and time, versus the, just paying the prep fees basically. Yeah, you don't want to do FBM through a prep center. You can maybe, but not if it's perishable, if you're talking about that. Yeah. Some prep centers will do FBM and they can be pretty good. How much money should you begin with? I started with like $1,500. I had $1,500. As a college kid, that kind of thing. Started selling books. I'm on TikTok too, so I can't really do the duo today. I need to get the speaker set up. But yeah, Al. So I started with like $1,500. Sold some used bucks, built that all up. And yeah, just kind of snowballed the money from there. Can you start with 15? Yeah, so that's exactly what I started with, Al. Yep. Good way for someone to find products to sell. Yeah, so the easiest way is just looking at what A lot of the successful sellers are already on. So yeah, just go to like start with like an auto hunt gay brand like a Stafford or 32 Degrees, a lot of those. That'll be great. And then yeah, you can do a lot of kind of reverse sourcing off of that. And if you don't know what that means, then you can basically just go to the my YouTube channel. It's like up here if you're on TikTok. And I've got a bunch of free guides. I posted one today that you can watch. It's 20 minutes. It'll show you how to find tons of profitable items. What up, Thomas? How you doing, man? Good to see you. Been liking the content. When's the next class? Yeah, so we got a live Amazon class going down on Wednesday night, 7 p.m. Eastern. You can check that out up in the bio there. Sweet. How's Cali these days, Thomas? Yeah. What's up, Miles? Smash like. Yeah, you're right. What's up? Grant just sent me like 1 penny over here on TikTok. Something like that. I think that's how it works, right? Yeah, you don't need that, Sean. Just start with SellerAmp and keep it super simple. Tools like that, you're by definition following the wave, right? Yeah. 80 year in paradise. Yeah, I respect that. I'm headed back to Florida here in a couple days, so yeah, we'll be living the good life there. Difference between free economy and free standard shipping on FBA orders. Well, on FBA orders, Amazon's going to provide the free shipping and take care of all that for you. Maybe you're thinking of like FBM, where it's where you offer free shipping and stuff. And yeah, you just set that up in your shipping template, basically. Yeah. Sweet. Yeah. So those of you guys who, if you hopped in on TikTok, let me know if you guys got any questions or anything like that. Selling on Amazon for about 6 years now, and let me know what I can help out with. Can you still do FBA? Yeah. You got like a 5 days to a week or so to be comfortable on FBA inventory. If it's like super seasonal, I would not. But I'm still sending a lot of like Christmas type items, and it's okay if they don't get there on time. But yeah, you've still got like at least a month before you need those items to be available for sale. And if you're worried about it, you can use Boxem to make those shipments, and then you can get 2D barcodes is what it's called. It's basically like an extra barcode that gets added on the bottom of a shipping label like that. And Boxem makes those automatically. And for me, my inventory checks in a couple days faster when I do that. So if you're worried about check-in times this time of year, sending your shipments with Boxem is a really good idea. So I'm gonna keep it the only things you need. Yeah, for product sourcing and then for shipping in items and tracking your profit, that's where you want to use. That's where you want to use Boxem. Are new books still a good buy? New books can be hard to sell, just because there's like a lot of the listings tend to get pretty heavily watched for like IP and authentic, that kind of thing. But yeah, new books can still be okay. I've always sold them as used. Just make sure you have a really solid, supply chain, that kind of thing, if you're planning on selling books as new. Yeah, some sellers will. Some people kind of monitor the new listings on their books pretty closely, just in case somebody's like printing fake versions of their book. Basically, you'd probably do the same thing if you went through the effort of writing a whole book and all that kind of stuff, right? You want to move away from eBay and the whole outside sourcing. Yeah, or you're driving around like doing a lot of thrifting, reselling, that kind of thing. That's great, but it can definitely be hard to scale, as I'm sure you're finding. But since you've done a lot of eBay, you like know how to source stuff. That skill set applies massively to Amazon. So yeah, especially this time of year, just get started, man. You can watch the YouTube video I posted today on like product sourcing. Use that to find some products that you can FBM, just kind of get the ball rolling. It's very similar to eBay if you do FBM. And then you can scale up from there. But you know how to do the basics since you're doing eBay already. What metrics do you use for the sales rank of a product? Yeah, so usually it's going to be like in the top 200,000 if I'm interested in it. Sometimes I'll go above that for, if I'm expecting it to start selling faster or something like that. The main thing is on SellerAmp, which is the like Chrome extension you want for sourcing. Just make sure it says like 30 sales per month or more. That's usually what I like to go for. I've gone a little bit under on like really high ROI stuff, but yeah, just make sure it's like a risk reward basically. Do prep centers do FBM? Is it mostly for FBA items? Yeah, so it's mostly going to be for FBA. That's just kind of what they're set up to do. But some will definitely do FBM. It'll just be a lot more expensive to do FBM, just because it takes a lot more steps. It's picking and packing orders. I would really try to hop on that like probably today, because a lot of the prep centers are going to have a certain number of people that they're going to let do FBM. And then after that, they're not going to let anybody else through. What is FBM? So FBM is just fulfilled by merchant. So it just means you're the one who ships the order out instead of shipping everything to Amazon, and then Amazon ships it to the final customer. So typically that means like you're shipping it out of your warehouse or your house, that kind of thing. But you can also get some prep centers to do it as well. Sweet. Yeah, you guys over on TikTok, hit the like or whatever if you want to help boost the stream out a little bit. Appreciate you guys. I'll probably start going live here on TikTok a little more often as well. What's the margin on total sales? I shoot for 10%. Yeah. I spend about 30 minutes a day on the business. Got most of it outsourced, so I'm happy with that. A lot of sellers who work really hard and do most of the work themselves, they're probably closer to 20 to 25%. Sweet. What's the minimum amount of product you should buy? Yeah, like just 5 or 10 units if you don't really know, if you don't, kind of have it figured out how much you should be buying of something. But yeah, it's at some point you'll look at like the offers tab, the estimated sales, that kind of thing. I've also got some videos on YouTube that will help you figure out like how much to buy of something. If you look up like how much to buy fields of profit on YouTube, that'll probably show you. Can you explain your outsourcing procedure? Yeah, so the first thing you'll probably do is get rid of product prepping, just because it's pretty tedious to put labels on everything and all that. So you'll want to reach out to a prep center, make sure that they can use your Boxem for you. So like my prep center uses Boxem, and they prep all the shipments for me, and then they send it off to Amazon. Just start emailing some prep centers, that kind of thing. And then once you're spending, for me, I was spending like 25,000 bucks a month on my own. I just kind of like needed help, and that's where I started hiring some other sets of eyes from countries like the Philippines. I was able to hire some people there, and they're finding a lot of products for me now. Just kind of using the stuff that I was able to teach them and the stuff that I was already good at doing, basically. Scanned item shows IP issue suspected. Is it always true? It's not always going to be true. Just look at the seller graph and you see there's like a bunch of people getting kicked off the listing. You see like, is it 20 sellers and all of a sudden it shot right down to 10, right? That shows me it's probably an IP complaint. If you don't see anything like that, then it's probably going to be somewhat safe. Prep center holds the inventory. Yeah. So the prep center, you'll ship everything to the prep center and they ship everything to Amazon for you. So they don't like keep it permanently, but they're like the middleman basically. So instead of you shipping everything to Amazon, they do it for you. Yeah, you can definitely look into like VAs and stuff later down the line. But since based on the question, you're probably like a newer seller, make sure you get a solid foundation before you start like hiring things. Just because if you don't know how to like train people or how to do it really well yourself, like it's gonna be hard to be an effective boss at that kind of thing, right? Do we have to be worried about the Amazon extended returns? So they do that every year. You will have higher returns in January just from Christmas gifts and stuff like that, but it is more than offset by how much faster everything sells and the price increase that comes from how much faster everything starts selling during December. So it's more than set off, or it's more than offset by the good benefits as well. I don't do any coaching right now, Christopher. Just focused on making good videos and making good software for you guys. How much money to start and how to find products to sell? Like $1,000 or more is good to start. And then if you are trying to find products, you'll start by doing reverse sourcing with SellerAmp. If you don't know what that means, you can up in the bio on TikTok here. You can go see the YouTube channel. I got lots of free videos on that for you. Yeah, Christopher, I don't want to have to charge what I'd have to charge, basically. You sell 1 million. How do you get to $2 million breaking back? Congrats on that first million, Nick. That's awesome. Honestly, if you're worried about like the labor involved, then you can probably start hiring some stuff out. Like I'd be curious to know what your operation looks like. Yeah, you can probably like look at adjacent opportunity. That's the biggest thing, and that's the biggest thing that'll help you grow all the time. Is the best items that I'm selling, what are these other guys on, what other brands are they on, that kind of thing. You obviously know that. Looking at some Keep a Product Finder sourcing as well, Nick. And then since you're already doing $1 million, I don't know if that's $1 million a year or just total. You could probably start hiring, like hire a person or two to help you source, because I would assume the biggest bottleneck for you is just the amount of products you can find to sell. And if that's true, then yeah, I would probably just look at hiring somebody there. Biggest growth over the past year of sales. I'll probably do like a $500,000 more than I did last year, Brian. Amazon's not my primary focus at the moment. Obviously, it's a good little hustle, more focused on helping you guys making software, that kind of thing. But the biggest year of growth I had, so the first year I kind of took it seriously, it was like $160,000, and then it went to about $700,000, and then it went to just shy of 2 million, and those are year to year. So that's really just like kind of compounding and doing a lot of that, right? You ever going to start private label? Maybe. Yeah, private label is a great opportunity. Yeah, you just it's a little harder to yeah, it's just a little harder to start with, and you can only do so many things at once. But private label is great. A lot of you guys, I think you'll be very well served if you come in, start a reselling business, do some wholesale, do some arbitrage, build up the cash flow. Then you can afford to take multiple swings at a private label, and if it doesn't work, that's fine. You've always got the reselling money to fall back on. Yeah. Yeah, Shasha, you don't need that software. That's like for private label. And it's also like way more expensive than you need. So just switch to SellerAmp and Keepa, and then watch the YouTube video that I posted today. And you'll see like kind of my exact product sourcing strategies and stuff. Yeah. Cool. Starting now, 6 months working hard. What do you think you can make in profit? Yeah. So a good way to break it down is for every dollar you spend, you can expect to make about $1.30 back, like a 30% ROI, right? So if you have a 10K to invest, then within and you're able to spend it all, like figuring out how to spend that 10K is going to be the hard part for the first month or two. But once you're able to spend that 10K, that's going to turn into 13. That 13 is going to turn into what, like 17 or so, and so on, right? So however the math works out on that. And then you'll typically also be able to turn your money over about 10 times a year with FBM and about 5 times a year with FBA. So it depends on a few things you're doing there, but hopefully that helps. What if you want to start with a private label? You can, you definitely can. You're probably going to sell something that maybe doesn't end up super profitable, or you're going to maybe lose a little bit of money, that kind of thing. Learning Amazon and learning how to market and create a brand and create a good product all that at once is just a lot of extra complication when you can learn half of that just by selling name brand stuff that people already buy. Do you have a course or Discord to get a good handle? So yeah, you can up here you can check out the YouTube. I got a full free course you can start with. It's about like an hour and a half. Shows you everything. And then we do also have a full course called the FBA Roadmap if you want to kind of invest in that kind of thing. A couple thousand successful Amazon sellers been born there as well. Shows how to get ungate. Yeah, that's on YouTube. Yeah. People are like still charging for like ungating advice and that kind of stuff. Maybe not the most trustworthy. It's just it's all over our YouTube. It's for free. Yeah. COD, are you asking about playing new Call of Duty? It's probably the most profitable way. If you like really have everything dialed in pretty well, then probably. It's the slowest way to get started, and it's difficult for cash flow. There's no bad way to sell on Amazon. There's honestly like most things you see online work. Some things might take a little bit more work than others, but whatever you like doing, you can see yourself doing for a long time. That's the correct answer for what you should do. Just because you see somebody like, this is the best way to make money online and everything else sucks because this, right? Like, that's just what they're passionate about. That's what they like talking about. So if you love making products and marketing and that kind of stuff, you'll probably love doing private label. Buy box percentages, FBA in the same price. You can look at that on the buy box stats I'm on. Usually it should be pretty similar though. No, Turk. So margins for me is closer to like 10%. That's what I shoot for. So about $250,000, plus some cash back and a lot of other nice benefits. Airline miles don't really, travel's free everywhere. People who don't have a lot outsourced. So like, I don't really do much of the work. I kind of hired a lot of people to do it. If you don't hire everything out, it's probably closer to 20%, 15, 20% kind of thing. What up, Freight? Good to see you, man. What's up? Yeah, you know what, Flip? I had the You know, I had the diamond snipers, diamond shotguns back in Black Ops 2. You know what this is. Come on now. You're a real one if you had diamond specials in Black Ops 2. A couple of you guys know what I'm talking about. Too late to join for Q4. No. Yeah, you can start now. Probably prioritize FBM a lot more. And then this time of year, there's gonna be a lot of like early Black Friday sales going on right now. So some of the lowest prices you'll be able to get opportunity on or right now. And then obviously in a few weeks we'll have Black Friday. And basically the last couple Black Fridays I've spent like $50,000+ over the course of the weekend. There's always so much good stuff to buy. What made you get into Amazon FBA? What's your story? Yeah, coming into college, I got fired from my high school job because boss decided he didn't like my guts anymore. So I was like, all right, screw it. I'll try my own thing. Watched a YouTube video on like selling used books, and then I did that for a year. Made like 30 grand doing that, and then just started selling name brand stuff, doing the stuff I talk about now, basically. And then been doing that for about 5 years, selling name brand stuff now. Yeah. And it's funny to see basically the same conversations about how selling on Amazon is dead or were happening 5 years ago, and people are still often getting worked up about that kind of stuff. So just keep that with a grain of salt kind of thing. Does Amazon give more buy box to FBA? Yeah, you'll typically win more buy box with an FBA seller. Yeah, just because you have Amazon's customer service behind you and it gets to the customer faster, basically. Do you think something's wrong with IPI? Not that I've noticed. But yeah, you can always like open the inventory dashboard. It'll show you what it does and doesn't like about your IPI. Sweet. Yeah, lots of good questions here today. And if you guys need like a full free guide kind of getting started, we're doing a free class on Wednesday night that I really recommend you guys come through. If you're on YouTube, it's down below. If you're on TikTok, the link's up in the bio there. And then there's also plenty of free content on YouTube. Dive into that over the weekend. Every hour that you spend working on the business right now is worth like at least 2x what it will be in February, that kind of thing. I know you got, holidays coming up, family time, all that kind of stuff. But right now is the time to lock in if you want to make this holiday profit here. You're doing TikTok shop? Not right now. No, just Amazon. Yep. It seems like a good opportunity though. How much money do you need to start? At least $1,000. Yeah, at least $1,000. If you have less, then you can go hit like thrift stores, that kind of thing. If you want to learn from this, one of the best dudes. Appreciate you, Cornelius. How's the store going? What are your numbers looking like these days, man? I haven't talked to you in a minute. Haven't seen you on the streams. I'd recommend online arbitrage over retail arbitrage. So online arbitrage is way more scalable, just because you can sit at home and buy a lot of stuff. But retail arbitrage is way easier to learn, just because you have way less competition. Because all you do is you go out to the store and you're competing against the literal handful of other Amazon sellers that live in your city, and they probably haven't been at that store in a few days. But worst case scenario, right? So it's literally just you. Are you willing to hop in the car and go drive out to the store versus figuring out a little more technical online arbitrage sourcing side of things. It's a lot more scalable though, right? 40K on Amazon, splitting with TikTok shop. Sweet. Yeah, that's what's up, man. Keep it rolling there. That's awesome. So if you're doing 40K a month right now, you probably pop up to 60 or 70 during December, I bet, depending on how much you're focused on that versus TikTok. What percentage does Amazon give to FBA over FBM seller? There's no like hard set percentage. It's going to depend on the listing. So you can see which type of seller Amazon gives buy box to on the SellerAmp buy box rotation tab. Yeah. Do you suggest auto pricing on Amazon? The Amazon repricer is incentivized to make Amazon more revenue. A third-party repricer is incentivized to help you make profit. So I would not use Amazon's repricer. Amazon's repricer has a hard time pricing up, which is definitely something you want. You want your prices going up for like any excuse possible. Ran up 8,500 units on one SKU this year. That's what's up, man. That sounds like a lot of fun. How many people on your team? I'm at 7 or 8 full time right now. I've been changing things around a little bit. Yeah, and then yeah, it's all in the Philippines too, so it's not very expensive relatively. Provide a good job over there, that kind of thing. Yeah, I wouldn't worry about that too much then, random. As long as you know you're doing a good job of getting stuff sold, then I wouldn't be too worried about it. What types of products? Anything that sells, Inc. But some, like my favorites recently have been like vitamins, some some clothes, shoes, that kind of thing. Yeah, anything that sells. Yeah. Yep. Do you have to reprice if you're not making any sales? If you have stuff in stock and it should be selling and it's not, then you probably want to get some of that get some of those prices taken care of. It's probably the lever to move there. It could also be if you are let's say you should send it into FBA and it's still like kind of checking in. That could be why you're not making sales. Or if you're FBM and the buy box is only going to FBA sellers. Those could be the other reasons there, Michael. What if it doesn't sell? So the nice part is since I sell and you guys should just basically sell stuff that people already buy, is it's very rare that you're not going to be able to straight up sell an item. You're obviously not always going to make the profit that you were shooting for, but it's pretty rare to just completely not sell an item. Just because that's like the point, right? You're looking directly at the data, you know exactly how fast stuff sells already. So even though maybe you hop on and a whole bunch of other people found the same item and the price goes down, that can definitely happen. If you're not using like coupons and discounts and all that kind of stuff, you'll still sell the item though. So a lot of times your worst case is you just like lose a little bit in profit. I shoot for 10%, Sam. Yeah. So I spend about 30 minutes a day. So $250,000 plus some airline miles, a lot of that kind of stuff. So I'm pretty happy with that. People who work harder probably closer to 20%. I mean, work harder in the terms of like doing a lot of the work themselves. Hired a lot of the workout kind of thing. Most of your products are mainly FBM. Okay, cool, Michael. So check the buy box rotation on those and see if it's being go to SellerAmp and then look at type and then look at the recent sales. And if it says like all FBA there, then you probably just have to send that to FBA. Or wait until Q4 gets a little bit more like intense and there'll probably be some buy box rotation to FBM sellers. What brand should new sellers focus on ungating first? Anything that's profitable, Jeff. Yeah. So the nice part is basically any big website you buy from, you can use that as your invoice to ungate. And so, yeah, you just start ungating anything you're finding profitably. You want to hit the like a couple categories, that kind of thing. You sell $2 a year. That is two more than a lot of other people, if that's true. Very cool. How much money do you start? You have $50. Yes, you probably don't want to sell on Amazon right now. You want to like go hit your local thrift store, find some $1 books that you can sell for a lot more on like eBay, some electronics. That's exactly what I did, is just like yard selling cheap stuff. Yeah, you probably can't do too much arbitrage with $50, unfortunately. You want to have like at least $1,000, I'd say. You stopped selling Amazon 3 years ago. Is there anything you got to do if you come back? Not that I know of. Yeah, just log into your account and see if you have any like alerts popping up or anything like that. If there was any complaints or anything you need to work out. But yeah, probably not. Yeah. And then also go and see, since your account's a little older, you'll be grandfathered into like some brands and that kind of stuff. So use that as an advantage for yourself. Do you charge shipping on thrifted items? So you want to do free shipping mostly on Amazon, just because that's what people are used to. But everything like the shipping costs are always priced in. Yeah, so usually you do free shipping, and then you can also charge a lot for expedited shipping, and especially like Christmas, people wait till the last minute, and they will pay an insane amount of money for shipping at the last minute. Do you only sell big name brands? Yep, Jay. Yeah, so a couple million a year in just like random name brand stuff. You've probably seen people, wearing, eating, taking as a supplement, that kind of thing. And so you don't really have to run like marketing, basically. Yeah. Yeah, for those of you guys on TikTok, if you want to like kind of learn how I do a lot of this stuff, I've got a ton of free content up in the bio. You can go over to YouTube. You got like an hour and a half long free course. I posted one today. It's like 20 minutes. To show you a lot of the basics, and yeah, lots of stuff there. You want to start? One question you're wondering is how would it affect you not having any reviews? It's not a huge deal. Once you get that first review, it'll help you out a little bit. Just kind of Amazon trust your store a little bit, but just start selling stuff. There's plenty of people with no reviews that make plenty of sales. It's not as effective, or it's not as big of a motivator on like how much you'll sell as you might think. Yeah. Do you only do wholesale? So I do like 95% online arbitrage. Yeah. Yeah, so just buying from like, Walmart, Kohl's, Walgreens, Target, all that kind of stuff, right? And then flipping that on Amazon. Opened it 6 months ago, haven't sold anything yet. Yeah, you got it. That's a very easily solvable problem. You could solve that today if you like actually wanted to. Yeah, take the SellerAmp app out, go to your local Ross, your Marshalls, that kind of thing, scan stuff, and you'll find something that's profitable on the shelves. Take it home, list it via FBM, and you could probably make a sale today if you find something that sells fast. Basically, every time I go out to the local stores, just kind of mostly just like making videos and that kind of stuff, I'll find at least $100 in profit or so. Yeah, the SellerAmp app, Alan. Yeah, so that's how you'll like there's a Chrome extension and a mobile app, and that's how I like figure out what all is profitable and source products, that kind of thing. Repricer for FBM too. Yeah, you want to use a repricer for basically any product you're selling, basically. Yeah. Where do you ship things out when you start? Yeah, David. So you'll buy shipping through Amazon Seller Central if it's FBM, and it'll usually be through UPS or USPS. You just drop it off at the respective business. Or when you're doing FBA, you'll buy that through Boxem. BOXEM is how you make shipments, and then that'll be through UPS, and you can schedule UPS pickups. So like for a while, I would pick up all the boxes. It was like hundreds of pounds of stuff. I would throw it in the back of my mom's minivan, drive it down to the UPS store. You can pay like $6 and UPS will come get it for you. When's your next free live class? Yeah. So this Wednesday at 7 p.m. Yeah. So over you guys on TikTok and on YouTube, if you want to see a lot of the stuff that typically don't put out there for free, it's like A to Z, everything you need to know to get going on Amazon. On YouTube, you can click below. It's the free Amazon class, and then you guys over on TikTok, it'll be up in the bio on Wednesday. We dive into a lot on that, a lot of stuff that'll help you guys make some Christmas profits and stuff. Average amount of product you have to sell to make 10K. So that's going to depend on the types of products you're looking at, right? So if you're looking at really cheap groceries, it's going to be a lot more than if you're selling, $200 pairs of shoes, that kind of thing, right? So there's a couple things that go into that. How much is good to invest to start? Like $1,000 or more is good, yeah. Sunday shipment today. Do you think it'll get checked in? Q4 is busy. Yeah. So this time of year, especially recently, I've been seeing. I haven't seen anything take too much longer than a month right now, so you should be okay. It can definitely get a lot busier. But one thing that you probably want to take advantage of, especially if you're already doing a lot of FBA shipments, is making them with Boxem, because you can use like these little, like this right here is a 2D barcode, and you actually have to use a software like Boxem that makes them. And that helps my inventory check in a few days faster. So it's one of those things that can make you some extra money in Q4. It doesn't take any extra work. In fact, it saves you a bunch of effort in making shipments. Sent in one last week, already checked in. Yeah, exactly. Awesome. So I know like 2 years ago or so, they were way bogged down. It doesn't seem like they're as swamped this year, which is interesting. Really depends. Yeah. That's good that you're seeing like a week check-in still. Mine haven't been too bad at all yet, so I'm still sending a pretty good amount in. Top 3 products you like to sell. Anything that's profitable. Start with anything that you are like have personal familiarity with. If you like to source or you personally are interested in a certain hobby, you probably know where the stuff is cheap at, right? You're into doing makeup or something like that. You probably know where to get some good brands. The best brands that people are buying a lot of. That's the best place to start if you have any kind of like personal interests. And then from there, you'll just see, what are those sellers selling? Okay. I mean, I didn't know about this toy brand, but, on the SellerAmp, it looks like it sells pretty well. And I found it in their storefront on SellerAmp. It's just kind of you just end up on a lot of opportunity after that. Where can you buy things wholesale to resell? Yeah. So you just start calling like local distributors kind of thing. If you are trying to like make your first sales on Amazon, it's generally going to be better just to do it from big websites. It's a lot easier to buy. It's a lot faster as well. You're not waiting for lead times and stuff. Yeah, Jalem, it's Boxem, Boxem. Yeah. And that's the tool you'll use to make shipments and track profit, all that kind of stuff. Just so you actually know what you're making, and it makes the process of making FBA shipments a lot faster. Such a thing as stop shipping to Amazon because Q4 began. Yeah. So if you really need something to sell during Christmas, I would make this the next like week or so your last FBA shipments, and then you'll switch to all FBM. So you just, instead of shipping it to Amazon, you just ship it out to the customer when it sells. And there's some big benefits to that as well. Like for one, there's a lot of listings that might have like a 2-pack or multiple listings for the same thing. And you can move the listings, like you can move your inventory between those different listings if you have it at home. When it's FBA, you're like locked into it being a certain product. There's some other benefits, but that's like probably my favorite. SellerAmp. Yeah, exactly, Eva. Yep. Yeah, you don't need to run ads, Colin. Just because people are already buying the stuff that we will tend to sell. Yeah. Might be useful if you're like a private label seller or something. Favorite category for Q4? Yeah, like for me, I'll do a lot of shoes and clothes and makeup. Probably a little bit of grocery, that kind of thing on there. Yeah. I do like a tiny bit of brand direct Zane, but mostly just arbitrage. Yep. What do you use to keep up with your receipts? So they'll all be in your email. If it's like a retail receipt, then you can just like take a picture of it next to the item. And then if you ever get any complaints from Amazon or anything like that, you got it nice and improved to Amazon there. Yep. Yeah, so I shoot about 10%, Mirza. I don't think I'm doing too many of those this year. See, no, not doing too many Legos this year. I might buy some, but yeah, it's more of a thing that you buy and you sit on them for a year or two. Do you need your own labels on there when you use the Boxem app? Yeah, so Michael, the Boxem will walk you through making the shipment. So basically, like it'll show you like what labels you need to print them out for you, and then at the end you'll have like your shipping labels and stuff that prints like that for you. Do you have a full paid step-by-step? Yeah, so we do have a paid. If you want to check that, it's called the FBA Roadmap. But learn for free. There's plenty of free stuff on YouTube. And then if you like it, then would love to help you fast track that growth. Getting orders is impossible. Anything is impossible if you say it is, right? So you've immediately made it something that you will never be able to achieve just by saying that. Getting orders is very easy. All you do is you list something that is at the price that it's selling for on Amazon, and send it into FBA or have a good delivery time via FBM. Making sales is extremely easy. Making them profitably is the hard part. That just comes down to buying stuff with coupons, sales, that kind of stuff. Yeah. Yeah, Zane, you can probably submit your invoices from wherever you bought that to get rid of that. That's what I'll do. Yep. Yep. All right, but you can scroll through the whole social media page. You can see I've been doing this for years now. Don't really need to prove anything to you though. Appreciate it. Where do you buy most of your product? Like big retailers, that kind of thing. Yeah. Recently just been buying a bunch from like a lot of shoe retailers, Vitacost, iHerb, that kind of thing. Any big retailers. Shoot for about 10% chance. Yep. Sweet. Probably go ahead and wrap up here. Been rolling for a little while here, but good vibes today. If you guys want to learn how to do all this kind of stuff for free, you can check out the YouTube channel. If you guys over on YouTube, check out the free course as well. Make sure you get free trials of SellerAmp and Boxem as well. That's how you'll find all your products and ship all your products to Amazon, track your profit, all that kind of stuff. But yeah, you guys have a good rest of your Friday. I'm probably gonna go hit the driving range here. Good vibes, and then I'll probably keep going live on TikTok. So keep popping in back around if you guys want to hang out. Let me see if I can find your question. I'll be able to. Good idea. Can't leak too much. But sweet. You guys have a good rest of your day. Appreciate you guys hanging out, and I'll see you guys again very, very soon.